So we're going to cover how to create a new project in Primavera. Then how do you create a work background structure? Then creating activities. Then how do you make activities predecessors and successors to each other? Then also creating relationship between the activities. Yeah. So yeah, so hope you can see this. Can you see Primavera?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I see.
Yeah, the interface can look like this if in case you cross everything, because I had crossed everything. Yeah, so in order for you to create a new project, what you have to keep in mind is that you should have an enterprise project structure. Like you should have a node in an enterprise project structure. So if we go to enterprise and you open enterprise project structure, so the moment you're creating a project
structure,
yeah, it should belong to one of these. Yeah, so it depends on the way you organize your structure. So now that means in case you're opening a project, it should maybe belong to oil and gas, or manufacturing, or energy, and maybe under oil and gas, you may have Sudan, you have Uganda. So it should belong to a particular node in the enterprise project structure. Yeah, so in case maybe you want to create a new one, you can just click on add, then you type in the name. So we're going to call it our EPS, just, and here is the ID, then the name is this side. So we can just say our ID for our EPS or EPS ID. And here we give it a name. So this could be like a department. This could be, it depends. But now we want it on the same level as enterprise. So I use this arrow.
Enterprise.
Yeah. Yeah, so now I've used that arrow so that I'm giving it a new level. Like it is starting another EPS. Yeah, so in case you want to delete one of the EPS like this, I was doing something, I can just click on it, press delete. Yes. Then it deletes it. So now you can see if I minimize this, I have enterprise, then also another EPS. So under enterprise, there are others, yeah. So our project is going to belong to this EPS that we've created, the one which we call our EPS. Yeah, then after that, you can press close. Yeah. So the next thing you have to do is, now that you have the EPS, you can create the project. Yeah, so how do you create the project? You can come to project. This will be giving us how to modify our project, like adding activities, resources, WBS, and more, but we don't have any project yet. So you have to click on this. Are you seeing this?
Add. Yes, add. New.
Yes. So under this, it is telling us to select EPS. This is the reason as to why we created, the
EPS.
So, that's why we created the EPS. So you click on this, then you select the EPS that you want to add. Yeah, so you want to add it to this EPS. If you want it to be under E and C, you click there. But now we want it to be on this one we created, which is called our EPS. So click on it, then press add button. This.
Add button.
So for Primavera, it's a bit different from its user interface is a bit different from the other softwares. You're going to find that you're going to use such buttons a lot, like this one of select and add.
Add, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't only stop on clicking. Yeah, you have to click, then press select. Yeah, so now you can see that its name is appearing, right? Yeah, so we press next. Yeah, so now remember we're creating a new project. but we've not given it a name and an ID. So we can give here our project ID and maybe we call it just for identifying it uniquely. So we can say project ID or project 001. It depends on the way you name your projects.
Yes,
Then you give it a name. Yeah, so which project would you want us to try out? Because we're going to enter different activities. Should it be a construction project?
Okay, let's go. Practically now, I do some project to be relevant, like it's like construction. I'm dealing with equipment like that, clearing the site, embankment, intermediate. This is like construction.
Yeah, so let's call it construction of maybe
Base
Kampala.
count. Just right, base count. Be relevant to mine. Yes.
Base count.
Base count. Yes, like a camp. No, camp. No more camp, like CAMP.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is our project name. Then we place next. Okay, you can see that the finish button is active, but we have to set up more things. That's why we click on next. You click on next, then we do more settings. Yeah, so here we put the project plan to start. When is the project plan to start? Yeah, so you can see.
Can you backdate sometimes?
Pardon?
Can you backdate in most cases? In project, like if you are done already with the project, then you want like this already made, then you put the date of March, like that.
You can move here and go back
put
to the date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is possible.
No problem. Just put any date.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me go with maybe it starts tomorrow.
Can put the date of today. Put the date of today.
Yeah, you can put of today, which is this one is the one today.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe we can say
Second,
it's starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Or starting tomorrow since it is a Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after that, there is an option of selecting hour, but that one may not really be, as long as you select the day, it may not be so crucial. Yeah. Then after that, you click on select. You see this button, it is appearing everywhere. It's not only about clicking. You have to select.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is optional, a must finish by. If you give a must finish by, it's like a constraint. Or it's like you're giving a deadline. Eh? Yeah. So a project, you may say it must be finished before the end of it, or you can leave it. Yeah. So after that, we place next. Then under next, it's going to tell us to choose the responsible
But this one,
manager.
if you want a must, okay, another question. If you want a must finish, you can edit it later and put it right.
Yeah, you can put a must finish by.
After creating a project, I mean like you have created it without the deadline. But later, you will wish to put it in the middle of the project. You can edit, right?
Okay, you are able to adjust everything, but in case a must finish by, you've not updated a must finish by, and your activities go on to bypass that deadline, the software will warn you that you passed the deadline. Yeah, so
then you can extend.
You can extend. But it can act as a notification in case you go past the deadline.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we go to next. Then here we have to choose the responsible manager. So the responsible manager, remember yesterday we went through how to create an enterprise project structure, but also the OBS, the organization breakdown structure. So for OBS, it's the same procedure, but showing labor that you have, like the manager, the engineers. It's like an organization chart.
Yes.
Yeah, so in case you have, you can click on this, then you choose, because this is like the human resources that we have, we can source from. Yeah, so in case you want to change, since we are not created one for us, we're just going to use the ones that are existing. So if it is enterprise, you just click on plus, then it will be able to add it. Yeah, but you can see here, you can see it's not It's not well organized because we've not created our own OBS. It is speaking from the APS. But when you go and create the responsible people like engineers, you're able to choose. Yeah.
And do we do that?
Pardon?
Can we do that so that we go? Can we create our own?
We can create.
Yes, we do that so that I get to that.
Okay. So maybe I can cancel this. We shall repeat the process. Yes. There's no big problem with that. Yeah. So when you want to create a new OBS, you come to Enterprise, then select OBS. Yeah. So now you can see that there are different OBSs, but we can create our own by clicking on Add. Yeah.
Add.
Yes. So here it's going to bring for you like the structure, but this is for existing Enterprise. It's going to bring for you the structure. So let's first create ours, and we say our organization structure. Our organization, yeah. Then we have our organization structure. Then we can okay, let's put it at the bottom. I want to see that it is on this. Yeah, it is on the same level as Enterprise. Remember, Enterprise is like the APS that comes in built. Yeah. So under our organization structure, yeah. Now you give two things: the name and also the description, and also the responsibility. Yeah. But since this is like the first level, we are not able to add just like responsibilities because we want to create our own organization structure. Yeah. So what we do, click on our organization structure, press add, and we're going to add maybe engineering department. Yeah, so we have engineering department, but it is on the same level. It has to be below that. So
same level, yeah.
Yeah, so we can add another maybe department like project management department, maybe. Yeah, indent it. So they can be many like
under engineering.
The one for project management. Yeah, it depends on the organization structure. Some can put it under, others may put it on the same level. Maybe surveying department.
Because engineering can be a department that is a project under engineering. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So under engineering, maybe we can have. It depends on the way you choose it, but here we can just do for demonstration. Like maybe we can have geotech, where we have the technicians and everyone. Then maybe we have geotech falls under engineering. Then we have structure. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we can stop here, then we go the other side. And we have a look at, yeah. So that after that, you can cross. Yeah, so now we can go back. It's not bad to repeat. We can do we choose our EPS, which is that. Click next. Okay, click select. Next. Here we said you give the project ID. The other one was not used. And say construction of a what?
Let's come.
Yeah, click next. Said it starts tomorrow. Select next. So we come to responsible manager, then we look for our organization structure. Yeah, so you can see our organization structure is there, and we can go direct here to who is responsible. Is it the engineering department? Is it the project management department? Yeah, so maybe
like what is happening with us? What is happening with us? Engineering is above the project management. Project management comes after. Engineering is it is called projects and engineering. Projects and engineering. And then under projects and engineering, there's project management and those other things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I think we can continue because now going back. Yeah, but as long as you can modify it accordingly. But you've seen.
I understand, yes.
Yeah, we can attach it to who is responsible or which department is responsible for that. Yeah, when you go to OBS, you can either use people like civil engineer, project manager, like that. Yeah, or you can just mention departments. Yeah, because when it comes to who is responsible for a project, it is very hard to say it is just one person. Not so, it will be a big team.
Yeah.
So select that.
Big team, yes.
Then select, use this button, this one. Yeah. Then after that, we go to next. Then this is about rates, how you, okay, the software has the way of doing rates, but it's better you go with standard rate.
Standard rate, yes.
Yeah, you just use standard rate. Next, then we are done with all the fields that are required. Then you can click finish. Yeah, so where do we find our projects? Because we need to see the project we've created. You come here, this was to create a new project, but this is for opening a project. So when you click on open, it's going to show you the whole like EPS, all the projects that are there. Yeah, so we're interested in this, also this one that follows under our EPS with the EPS ID. You can see different colors and are showing different levels, right? Yeah, like the blue one is for EPS, then the green one is like the sub EPS, then now the projects are for them, they look like folders. And they have project ID and also the name and the status. Yeah, so we go, create this, click open. So it's going to open our project. Now it opens our project. Yeah, it's a bit slowing down, but it's going to open our project. Then the next step we're going to do is creating a work breakdown structure. Yeah, so this is our project. You can see the project ID is there, the name. You can adjust these columns. Construction of, so we said the next step is what? To create a work breakdown structure. Why? Because the activities are going to fall under a particular level in a work breakdown structure. You know a work breakdown structure?
Yeah, the work breakdown structure. Yes.
Yeah, okay, like for a construction of a building, you're going to subcategorize it into a substructure, superstructure,
stages,
and finish is what? Yeah, so other activities will be falling under that. For example, under substructure, you have foundation. Under substructure, you'll have like clearing and grabbing, reducing levels, trenches, excavation. Yeah, those are the real tasks, but as long as you complete those tasks, you're going to find that you're done with a substructure. Yeah, so that's what we're going to create. Can you see the screen? This one here?
Yes, I see it.
This one,
Yes, I see.
Yeah. Now these are like some examples of work breakdown structure. Now this one is for construction of a house. You can see that here they use different levels.
I think I'm not seeing that one, because when you share the screen, If you're sharing this one, you want to share another one, I think this one will be replaced immediately. I'm not seeing what you're saying, what you're doing now.
Oh, anyway, it is fine. Let's just continue. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share it in just 1 second.
Yeah, you just exit sharing this one, then you share another one like that, you can change. Or else, hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Yes,
I'm
bro.
going to, yes?
Yes, for matters of learning, we can use the ready demo data, something like that.
We can use the what?
We can use the ready one, the ready project, like the data that is ready there.
Hey, but okay, for purpose of learning, it's better we do it from scratch. But you can see this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so now this is a sample.
Construction of a house.
Yeah, this is a sample construction of a house. You may have here, these ones called it internal, foundation, external, but you can call it in your way, like maybe preliminaries, substructure, superstructure. Yeah, so. So now that's what we're going to create. So in order for us to create a work breakdown structure, you come to Enterprise, or you can find it under project, since we already have now the project. Yeah, so you go to project, then select WBS. Yes, so now it's going to bring for us a screen where we're able to start creating the work breakdown structure. Okay. It's a bit lagging behind. There is some other tasks that it is doing. Yeah, so this is it. This is how the screen looks like. But we've not started creating a work breakdown structure. But how can you know that it is a work breakdown structure? You can see from here. There are two tabs. There is this one of activities, then there is this one of work breakdown structure.
Yeah. Breakdown structure, okay.
Yeah. So you click on work breakdown structure. Then when it loads, we're going to click on this add button from this side. So that will mean that add a work breakdown structure. So we click. You see now it has brought a work breakdown structure. So these are like different levels on a work breakdown structure. If you go to level 1, for example, that one that has preliminaries, substructure and superstructure, it can have numbers like 1, 2, 3. But when something falls under foundation or like substructure, it will be like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Yeah, so you can number it in that way, or you can use A, B, C, D. Yeah, so we can say, I'm going to leave them by default by the ones it generates. And I'm going to call this substructure. Yeah. So when I'm done, you press enter. Then you can add another one. Click on add. Then this will be like, we can say superstructure. Then we're going to add another one. We shall organize it later. And maybe you can say finishes, fixtures and finishes. Yeah, so now you see this hierarchy. It is not organized, right? Because these ones are supposed to be on the same level. Like substructure, superstructure is supposed to be on the same level. So in order to avoid that, the next time you create like a new work breakdown structure, you can just click like here, then you press add. So it will put it on the same level as this. You seen that? Yeah, and maybe let's pull this one down and we can call this, okay, even if it is up here, Okay, I wanted to add preliminaries, but it was giving it a different ID. Let's just delete it. In order to delete, select and press X, then yes. So we need to indent these ones back to the same level here. So you click this, then you click this arrow. See this?
Yes.
It moves it back, then this one also moves it back. So now, right now, they are on the same level, right? Yeah. So in case the next level under substructure are going to be tasks, you don't input the activities from here. Here you only put you only put levels, like a collection of activities. Because
but do you think like hello?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Like now we already have a substructure. I think superstructure and then fixtures and finishes can be under substructure, right? We can indent them, right?
Yeah, it depends. I just wanted to show. Yeah. Oh,
depends.
What we can do, we can move this one up. You use these same arrows to move up. Though it has a different ID, but we can call this one preliminaries.
Okay.
Yeah, then the IDs, this one can take one. Okay, that one is already occupied. Okay, let me first see, give higher levels so that I can go back. That one takes 1, 2. Okay, I was just trying to ensure that it is arranged very well. Preliminaries to have 1, substructure to have 2, this one to have 3. Yeah. So that's it. You see, when there are more tools, you can copy and paste, you can cut, like you can copy and paste and edit. Yeah, they are all possible. Yeah, so when we are done, you can close. When you want to close something here, because these ones are in different tabs, when you want to close something, you just select it, make sure that it is active. Like you want to close WPS. So we ensure that WPS is active. Okay. Let me try to stop some. Okay, it has already WPS is active, then you close this. It will not close the entire screen, to only close that. So it will close WPS, but the activities will stay there. Yeah. So, okay. So now the next step is creating activities. Yeah, that is the next step. Yeah, so we're going to create activities on our WBS. Yeah, but we can see it is not arranged very well. Let's first open it and see. Maybe it didn't save. Open WBS.
Yes, in WBS is good.
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe the way it has it appears there on the activities, we can continue. Yeah, so when we are inserting activities, yeah. Okay. Okay, it has come. So now we starting with the substructure. We're going to put the activities onto that. Yeah. So how do you add activities onto the substructure? You select where I want to put the activities, like here on substructure, then press add. See, this time around, it will not add the WPS level or what, since we are in activities. Yeah, so you can see this add button will work on everywhere as long as it is what is active in the tab. Yeah, so you click on add, Now you see that what it brings activity. So you have to give activity ID, then the activity name. So what is the first activity in substructure? Clearing, and it can be maybe clearing and grabbing. Don't so?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so then other things we're not going to press next because it needs us to set other things, but we're just going to create, then we modify later. So we can say finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember where I showed you the default duration? It comes with 5. So in case you want to change, you change. If you forget to put, it will take 5. Yeah. So it was still loading. Now it has arranged them very well according to the way we arrange them the other side, right? So we can go back and we put the preliminaries. So what falls under preliminaries? What falls under preliminaries can be it can be studies, feasibility studies. Then under feasibility study, what is next? Okay, you can stop this from showing since we won't be using it. Pardon?
Budgeting can also be there.
The budgeting? Hello?
Yeah, I mean budgeting can also be under preliminaries, right?
Yeah, we can put it. And so we can add another one. Okay, first, wait. You want
one second, I pick a call. Huh?
Okay.
I'm picking a call, I'll call you.
All right.
Yeah, Lulu. Okay, continue.
All right, so what I'm doing, I'm adding activities, then we later going to modify them. Budgeting, feasibility study. Then we can have maybe design. Yeah, we're going to arrange them very well so that they are following the order. Design, and maybe designs. We can just call it designs. Then after that, we can add another one for approve of design. Yeah, you have to press enter in order for it to go next. If you don't press enter, it will be on top of the other one. Yeah, so are these ones okay? Where do you want us to add budgeting? Before designs or after? You can add it here.
I think it should come before. Yeah, budgeting can come before design.
Yeah, before?
Before design, yes.
Okay, we can cut it and paste it.
Approval of designs come after budgeting, then designs, the last.
Okay, let's cut it. Then we move here and we paste like that. Yeah, so we can move on to now.
Then designs should come after approval of designs. You see this one?
Yeah.
Designs will be the last.
Okay. Okay, let me cut it. Paste.
Not coming.
Anyway, let me just type like budgeting. Design. Approval of design. Okay. Yeah. This design. Anyway.
What about things like procurement? Can you add that too?
We can add. Let me see. We can add it in. Okay, this first. I want to cut it and paste it here.
Okay.
Let me first repeat this. Let's add. Okay. Anyway, it is better if you put it in when it is arranged. When you put and you want to modify, sometimes it can disturb you. Let's just add activities and yeah. Let's add procurement.
I think that one is enough.
Yeah, that one is enough. Let me try once. It is not. Let's just go with that. Yeah, so here we're going to add another activity. So we come add another activity. Clearing and grabbing, then what is next?
You can go for
Reducing
leveling or soil compaction.
And let's just join it. Okay, let me. Okay, let's just type them. Shall find a way of rearranging them. Leveling and compaction.
What about when you try to take, try to take the cursor at the extreme left, like the way you do Excel?
Pardon?
When you are deleting and pasting, place the cursor at the extreme left side here. After the ID. Before the ID. Before the column of ID, when you're trying to copy and paste. Just try, maybe the reason why you cannot copy. It's like I see your cursor is always falling in the middle here, where ID and these things are. So you place this at the left side here, then you can copy or paste like that.
This one will paste it on top of the other one. It is supposed to be when you press enter, maybe there is some setting that I changed, but it's supposed to be when you type and press enter, it just goes below. Anyway, we shall rearrange it when we come to giving the dates. It will be able to do so. Yeah. So let's add another one. And we call it. So after labeling and compaction.
Foundation. Talk about foundation.
What about you need to do excavation, maybe trenches? It's supposed to be like that.
The series can be enough.
Yeah, they can be enough. Let me just try something here. We call it clearing and grabbing. Okay, let's move on to the superstructure. We can start by maybe walling. Then after that, what is next?
There are a lot.
Pardon?
Painting. Yeah, this one
Okay.
is under the
You can maybe say
plastering,
plastering. You see, when you are adding, like when you are adding another one and you want it to go down, you're supposed to go back and select this here, then you press add to put it down. Yeah. The other one, it was a cursor, like you press down, then yeah, but you have to first place the level, then it will add it down.
Okay.
So from plastering, maybe you can do the painting. Yeah, then from there, we can maybe do M and E, then that will be enough for practice. Yeah, so on top of that, you can have certain milestones like, let me delete this. You want to add on top of this. Okay, let's go with those activities. Yeah, so now this is how our schedule is looking like, where we have the project name, which is construction of base camp. Then under that, we have preliminaries, we have substructure, we have superstructure. Yeah, so the next step is to enter different durations for the activities. Yeah, so when we enter in duration, don't enter durations for that project, don't enter durations for these levels. You only enter duration for activities. Yeah, so procurement, how long can it take?
Say procurement, we give like 1 week, like that, or something like that.
Can say 7, since it is on days, can say 7 days. So you
7
see the
days.
ones on top changes by default. So yeah, if you add more days, the other ones are going to reflect. Yeah, feasibility studies, these ones were not arranged very well, but let's just give random days. Then I can have designs maybe taking 15. Can have the budget taking 5. Approval of designs taking maybe 1 day. Yeah, so here the construction of base camp is still taking just the maximum because we've not adjusted the start and the finish. Yeah, so let's first complete here. Leveling and soil compaction, maybe 3 days in case you have equipment. Excavation of trenches.
Excavation 2 days.
Clearing and grabbing can be 1 or 2 days. Walling can take you some good days. Plastering, maybe 3. Painting 2. M and E, we can give it 4, you never know. Yeah, so we're done with the duration. So we have original duration, which is the duration that we want to put. Then remaining duration and schedule complete dates, those ones come in later because we've not yet started tracking. So if you see a column and it is confusing you and you don't want to have it, you come here to columns. See this? This one here. You come to columns, then the ones you don't want, you push them this side. The ones you want, they are pushed this side. So we don't want remaining duration, we push it back. We also don't want schedule complete, we push it back. Yeah, so we only want activity ID, name, duration, start, finish, total float. For now, we don't need it. We can maybe leave the predecessors. So in case you want to add any other like column, you come and check from here. For example, if you want to add successors or predecessors, they are found under lists. Yeah, then you can see under lists, you have even the resources, you have successors, roles. Yeah, so just click on one and push it this side. Then after that, click apply. Then okay. So this is our new table. Yeah, so this is going to be the table, but this side is showing the chart. Yeah, so now let's go ahead and put the start and the finish. So when is this one going to start? You just click on that and maybe it is starting from there. Then this is its finish. So what we're going to do, we're going to assume that it is following a waterfall method, or like they are depending on each other. When the other one gets done, the other activity also starts. Yeah. So we can say this one, it will start after, this is 11th May, so it can start maybe on 12th.
Visibility study starts faster, right? It starts before, right?
Yeah, it should be before. Just
now, when you
here
set the
in the
date,
arrangement,
supposed to be the first.
Yeah, let's give it 3rd. Yeah, then this one can come in later on. Let me see if I can push it down.
Now, wait. Just wait. What about when you use up and down arrows? You cannot push.
Pardon?
Or they are not active. I mean the up and down movement, up, down, and sideways. Not working here.
No, these are
those ones.
yeah.
They are not active.
No, they are not. Okay, active. We just made a mistake as we are entering the activities, but that can be fine. Maybe we can just remove procurement.
Just type by typing.
Let me just remove it. At least these ones, they look to be in order. Feasibility, designs, budget. You never know, budget can come after designs. Yeah. So we have that starting on that date. Then when is it getting done? It will calculate according to its duration. Yeah. So also this one, it may start, in case it depends on this one, it may start on 22nd, or it can start on any other date. Yeah. So
start early in most cases. That one obvious in most cases early.
The one of design. Yeah, maybe it can start. Okay, like 5th. Yeah, so here it is saying, do you want to add a start on or after constraint on this for the activity in place? Yeah, why it is saying that is there are some constraints. There are some constraints that go on with the activities. And how do you see them?
Yes.
You see them from here, from down here. Yeah, when I select an activity like this, we're just going to go to General tab. Then under General tab, you're going to see that we can choose different conditions for the activity. Like when you click on General, like I have maybe feasibility study, and I click on General, it can have a particular type. And those are, it can be a finish milestone, it can be a level of effort, it can be resource dependent, it can be start milestone, task dependent, and WBS summary. Yeah, so those are different activity types, and we're going to do one milestone and I show you how it works. Yeah, so most of them we can say they are task dependent, or they are resource dependent, like, or effort driven, like their completion will depend on how much you input into doing it. Yeah. So here, if we're setting a date and it is warning, there may be certain like constraints behind. Yeah, so budget, this one, we said it can start on 5th. Yeah, so whatever we're doing here, you can see it from this side. Yeah, so you can see that this activity is going to start, but it's not going to start at the start date, but after a few days, it is also going to start. You can actually adjust from here. See this? Yeah. So you can adjust from here. Then it will be adjusting the other side here. Okay, so let's continue by putting the start and finish. So you can continue with this, or you can give predecessors. What do I mean by that? If I come to designs and I say that designs depend on feasibility studies, automatically it will pick the date after the feasibility studies.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think sometimes that one is better, that you get the start activity, like feasibility study is going to start on 3rd May because it is the project start date. Then I will just give predecessors. Then for it, it will calculate the start and finish of activities accordingly. Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you give predecessors? You select the activity, then you come, for example, I want to give feasibility studies predecessors. You select the activity, come to predecessors. But for it, it is not showing us the provision to give predecessors. Why? Why do you think it is not showing us the provision for giving predecessors? Because it is the start, it is the first activity. So it does not depend on any other activity.
Any other activity? Maybe successor?
Yeah, maybe it can have a successor. You can go to feasibility study, then you can add a successor. Yeah, but let's use predecessors. What we're going to do is just going to come design, we come under predecessor, then you click on assign. See that?
Yes.
Yeah, so here, if you want to say that design depends on feasibility study, what you need to do is click design, then click the predecessor from this side.
Yeah,
like I've clicked designs, then feasibility study, then place this assign. Yeah, so it has added it under the list, you see? Yeah, so you can have more predecessors, like you can add another predecessor.
And just continue setting. And just continue setting like this while it is there, if there are more.
Yeah, if there are more on the same activity, you come to design and select another. But also, since here design, we don't have any other activity before, maybe we can try out that one on budget. Like we can say budget depends on feasibility study also.
Designs.
Then also we say it also depends on design. So you see there are two now. So when it reaches on choosing the date for budget, it has to ensure that the feasibility studies and designs are completely finished. Is that clear?
Yeah. What about like what you are doing now? It is like it should start immediately after finishing or before finishing.
The budget.
Successors. But sometimes you can be a work of 10 days, and before 10 days, it has to work. Another work has to start 2 days or 3 days before it works.
Yeah, we're going to look at that. There is a lag and a lead.
Spaces. The lags, okay.
We're going to look at them. But for now, we can just look at the predecessors. So here I was trying to demonstrate how you can add two different, but we need just one. Yeah.
I'm just asking this. Sometimes, I prefer it when you put the design depends on feasibility studies, but the issue is, but when will design start? Although it depends on this. I depend on that when I'm setting. I should set them two. I set the lag, I set the dependence at the same time. You cannot do it.
You can do it from here. For example, we can go back to design.
Just put the same way you are putting the other ones.
You come to design, then it will show you what it depends on. It depends on feasibility studies. Yeah.
Feasibility studies and say also budget. And then you budget, then you go to budget.
Yeah, but you said we first put the lag. You can put the lag here.
The lag, yes.
Yeah, so if you have a lag of like 2 days, now that means you're going to delay by 2 days to start. But if in case it is a lead, you know the difference between the lead and the lag?
What?
The lead and the lag.
Lead? No, the other lead, I don't know.
Okay, the lead, what it means by the lead, it means that you can start the activity earlier by those days. For example,
by 2 years.
Yeah, like designs may be depending on feasibility studies, but feasibility studies may have reached like 80%, then you start on the designs. So in case it is in days and feasibility study takes 10 days, but when it reaches the 70th day, you can start designs, then it gives you a lead of 3 days. And the lead is represented by negative. Yeah, so when I put -2, it
2
will
days
get to,
before.
Yeah, so it can start 2 days before. If it is a lag, it is positive. Okay, let's continue with assigning the predecessors. We said budget depends on maybe feasibility studies, or you can even remove it. Click on remove. Then we come back here to our assigning dialog. That budget, we select budget depends on maybe designs. Press assign.
Designs, yes.
Yeah, so then we go to another one. Approval of design depends on designs.
Approval of designs depends on designs, yes.
Okay, so now we can move on to this. Like leveling and soil compaction will depend on approval of designs. Pick that. Yeah, then you go to another one, excavation and trenches. It depends on leveling and soil compaction. Sign it. Yeah, then, okay, yeah, it was, okay, these are the
clearing and grabbing actually depends on approval of designs.
Yeah.
Because this I want to be done first.
Yeah.
That one is supposed to be before leveling. Then leveling and compaction depends on clearing and grabbing.
Yeah, just that when we were creating activities, we were still having that issue of it was disorganized in the arrangement.
Arranging. Yeah. Maybe you can remove that clearing and grabbing out first.
Okay. As the activity?
Yeah. Maybe you put it as a different activity, not clearing and grabbing. You can create another. After excavation, always what activities there? Can go for foundation.
Maybe it can be plinth wall or bracking and strutting, something like that. Puts it on top because it is going with the other arrangement. Anyway, good enough. We realize how you can easily go about it.
Yeah. So when you put it in the pen, it will shoot itself, huh?
When you put it what?
Why was it jumping up? Why?
Because the other one is already, it detected the other one, like it detected the order of the other one, I think. That's why it detected the order of the other one which was there. But now just get to know, in case we want to add an activity down, just click in the level. Then you click on add, then it will appear down.
Add, yes. Yeah.
So we can continue with just a few for predecessors. Assign. Then, okay, maybe we can do this. The one of walling depends on, it will depend on, let's choose any from here. Like maybe this.
Can it be excavation? Excavation, yeah.
Yeah, then we can say plastering depends on walling. Painting depends on?
Depends on plastering.
Yeah, then M and E will depend on painting. Assign, get done. Yeah, so now when you're done with that, actually you can do the same thing with the successors, just that for it to be moving the other way around. So if you decide to use successors, click on successor, click assign, choose the activity and choose its successor. Yeah, but now we've used predecessor. which is totally okay. Yeah, so when you're done with that, the next step to do is to schedule. You click on schedule so that it can link, it can create the updates, and also it can link all the activities together. Yeah, so you click here, this one here, click on schedule. Yeah, then here it is able to export some file. We're going to have a look at it. It tends to export a particular file that has more information. Yeah.
Yes.
It will be located here, document, schedule log.txt, then say, click schedule. In case you have some other like options to choose, you click on option, then you'll find more things to adjust before you schedule, like ignore relationship 2 and 3.
When I'm creating activity, we go to schedule, right?
After creating the activities?
The activities here, we go to the links, predecessor or successors.
Yeah, then another thing, as you are assigning predecessors and successors, there may be a relationship between the activities. Yeah, like they finish to start, or finish to finish, or start to finish, or start to start.
Yes,
yeah, so
okay.
by default, it has
meaning after an activity is finished, and then it starts.
Yes.
With a lag of what? Okay.
With a
if
lag
the
of
activity
-2.
starts, okay, finish to start, finish to finish. Finish to finish means when an activity finishes,
then the other one will also have to, the other one, that's
will
when
also
the other
finish.
one will finish. Yeah.
Will be finishing also.
But those
But
ones
you
are
can
rare.
set a lag.
Yeah, you can set a lag. Yeah, so in case you want to change any relationship, like from finish to start or start to finish, you change them from here, but I left them to be finished to start, all of them, but you can change them from here. And then go to schedule. Then we said we may want to have a look at that file. Then under options, there are some other options that you may want to adjust.
Can you check for me the schedule? Can you go back to schedule?
Here.
Where? No.
Here.
Where you click the schedule? No. Just remove it. Close that.
This timing
that's
icon
the
that
schedule.
looks like a timing. Yeah.
Icon schedule, yes. Okay.
Yes. So click on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you want a file, then click on schedule. We shall look at the options later on. We're just going to first click on schedule. Yeah. So now you see, this is now the schedule. It has connected all the activities. These are different levels. You can see the one in green is like a level on the work breakdown structure. This is another level. It is represented like that. Then also this is another level. Then these are the activities.
The activities, yes.
Yeah, these are the activities that are corresponding to that. Yeah, so you can see that under predecessors, it is it indicates them by ID. When I come here and I say under the column of predecessor, I can see that design depends on the predecessor with this ID. And which activity has that ID? It is feasibility studies. Yeah. So it will put them here. In case the activity doesn't have a predecessor, it will be empty. Like this one here.
Yeah, it's not showing any ID.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to the last bit of resources, of assigning resources. It wasn't part of the work plan, but we still have some time. We can cover it. Yeah, so
you said we are skipping schedule?
No, we didn't skip schedule. What we skipped was options. These options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. So why do we leave those options?
Okay, they still have other things that we may need to cover, like the theory bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because here like
Okay.
total float, what they are kind of like some technical project management, which we shall cover later on. Some concepts we shall be covering later on. Then we shall be able to come back and choose the right options.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me first try to open this file, then I'm going to share it with you on the screen. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a file that is generated when we are doing the scheduling. It has the project name, has the project ID. Then yeah, it is showing us different things that we've done on it. We've done the scheduling, yes. Then these other ones we've not done. Most of them like leveling, ignoring relationships, what these are now like the options that we are supposed to adjust. Yeah. Then after that, here it can give you the statistics. How many projects? 1. How many activities? 11. How many activities are not yet started? All of them, because now the dates we put they are for tomorrow. And in case you generate it during the execution of the project, it will be able to show you.
Report, yeah.
Yeah. So how many are in progress? Now there is nothing which is in progress because the dates are for future. They are future dates. We haven't completed any. Then we created 9 relationships. Then activity with constraint, it is just one that has a constraint. Yeah. Then here, in case there is any error, it will be able to show you the error. It only has warnings. Yeah. And the warnings are, these are the activities that don't have predecessors. But we realize feasibility studies, they don't need to have predecessors. For clearing and grabbing, we just didn't assign a predecessor. So in case you have any issue and you want to know whether they are, you want to know whether there is any query, you come here at warnings to show you activities without successors, activities without predecessors. Yeah. Then here to be able to show you, we've not yet covered leveling, but it's about resources. It shows you the summary of that. Yeah, now you can see that we have just a small file and even a small project, but we've been able to generate this quite information, which is good. Like it is readable. You can even put it in Microsoft Word. Yeah, so now we can go back to Primavera. Yeah, we are here. So another thing we're going to look at, just kind of small brief introduction to it. Let me see here. Okay. Let's just see how you can assign resources, but we may not be able to create just for now. But we're going to see how you can assign resources because we have the resources column here. This. Yeah. So how do you assign resources? Same procedure. Choose the activity, but now go under resources. Yeah. So in case you don't have any resources that are available, click on add resource. Then these are inbuilt. These are inbuilt resources that came with the the sample data.
And yes.
Yeah. So in case but what?
But we can add our own, right?
Yeah, we can add our own. Yeah. Then if you want to add our own, you can come to enterprise, look for resources. Yeah. So this is the big structure for the resources. So if you want to add another one, You can say, you can click on this.
Connected to our project.
Let me just click there, I add, then we shall use the buttons to go back. Yeah, so it will be resource ID. You give the resource ID and you give the resource name. Like maybe, yeah. Okay. Civil engineer 1.
But on this one, we have some gear, paint, excavation, right? This ready one, you can just put it right.
Which one?
You can create and also select, right?
Yeah, we can select.
The ones you see, yeah, like here, regarding to our project, you can see others here, paint, excavation, all are here.
Yeah, we can select, so we can decide to create our own. Yeah, because here, what you need to do, you can just group them and say maybe engineers. Then it is a description and say maybe civil engineers. Yeah, so it has reached the first level, so it can take in others that fall under that. So we can say this one is civil, just the ID, and you call him civil engineer. One. Click finish. Then we can add another one. We call him mechanical.
And go for surveyor.
Yeah, so we can stop on that one. Then you can cross. When you're done with this, you can cross, then go back to activities. You see now we are working with database. Everything you input, it is directly saved to the database. When you save, it goes directly to the database. Even when you don't save, everything you do,
generated automatic.
Yeah, it goes directly to the database. Yeah, because here you can see there is nothing like save because it's a database. So either you put, if you want to remove something, then you can just delete. Yeah, so now let's come to feasibility study. Then we come to resources and say add resources. So we look for our engineers and you see the ones that are falling under engineers.
Surveying first. You go for survey.
Yeah, we can say surveying. You add that one. You can even add another one like there. It is survey and civil. Yeah, then we select who is responsible for budget. Would I put maybe some project manager? Let's just put civil again. Then we can go on to designs. Yeah, this is just for demo, but you know that you would have the big hierarchy. Yeah.
Yes.
Then you can come to like leveling and compaction, and maybe that is a surveyor. You add, so when it reaches to like M and E, it will be mechanical. Select them, close this. Yeah. So every time you press an activity, its resource will be shown here. There are some that have not given resources. When I click, the set is empty.
Yeah. Like excavation can be operators, right?
Pardon?
Like excavation can be operators or excavator.
Yeah.
As a resource. You can consider excavator as a resource, right?
You can consider it as a resource, though it will not be falling under a human resource. And the way you can adjust that, you go to enterprise.
Oh, the resources we are adding are the human resource.
You see now this is for material resource. When you come and see it's like properties. Okay, when
so you have to add under material resources, huh?
Yeah. You add it under material resource and maybe it is aggregates.
This includes like roller, excavator, grader. They can go there, right?
Yeah, they can come here. Anyway, those are costly resources. Okay, it depends whether your company is hiring or it owns. Because now, like a grader, it is not a material. It can be assigned work. Like it's not part of what goes on the road. It just does the work. But under material, you put the things that go there, maybe bitumen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So let me just stop on this. Then we go and see how we can assign it.
You said the equipment can be under what?
For the equipment, okay, when you're adding a new resource, this is what happens. When you're adding a new resource, I can come here and I say add a resource. Then this resource, I can call it equipment. We're going to, yeah, it's called equipment. We're going to put the equipment under that.
Yeah.
Equipment. Okay, like this, click finish. Now we're going to put it back until to the same level as the other on this equipment. Yeah, now you come here under resource type, there are different types. There's labor, there's material and non-labor. So the equipment will be falling under like non-labor or expenses in case you are hiring them.
Yeah.
But in case you bought equipment and it's going to do work for you, you can put it under labor.
Okay, if it is your own.
If it is your own, you can put it under labor. But also it can be your own, but you want to cost it on the rate of per hour, how much you would have consumed in case you were hiring it. That's when you can say non-labor. Yeah, so you see they have different icons. For non-labor, it will show like an equipment or something like that. Then for labor, it will be showing people. Then for material, it will be showing something like a block. Yeah, so it can be on top of this equipment that we come and add the graders and maybe call it grader 1. It's a grader. Finish. You see when it is non-labor, so we can add others down. Maybe excavator. I'm giving the same name as the ID because there would have been maybe some abbreviations, but this one I think is okay.
Yeah.
You can add another one. Which one? Maybe trucks. Yeah, so, and our resources, we've got human resources, which is labor, and non-human resources, which may be non-labor or like material. Yeah, so even like expenses like transport costs, they can fall under non-labor because they are resources, but they don't do any labor and they are not materials on site.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can now come back, activities, and you see that when you go to...
What about like, now you have the laborers, okay, a staff, you are the company staff, or you appear, you can be an engineer, site engineer, okay, I understand that one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and also what you should avoid is putting people's names into like the software, because someone may leave.
Yeah.
So it is always better just use the positions, like maybe site engineer.
The titles.
Yeah, just use the titles. Yeah, so now you can see that when we come to maybe clearing and grabbing, okay, we come to walling, and we come to resources, and I come to add resource. I can select, maybe we shall use the grader. It is walling, we shall not use.
No, grader is not walling. That's
shall
only
use something aggregate. Yeah. Then now we can come to where we can use a grade as maybe leveling and soil compaction. Then we look for that.
Equipment.
Yeah, you can actually search even and set tracks or excavator one, assign it.
Can't you add 2 or 3 at once?
You can add, it uses shift, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, you can use control or shift. And also, if you add a full hierarchy like this equipment, okay, I can remove the whole equipment. Let me first remove these ones. I want to add the whole of it, like add resource. I come here and I look equipment, add it. It will add, but that will not be good. We shall not be able to know the real equipment. So it's better I just add one by one. So here you can select menu with shift or control.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can close that. No need to save. And there we have it. So now you can, this is how the screen looked like because I had closed everything. And so you can close everything and you come back and open anything you want to open. If you open a full enterprise, it's just going to bring the screen showing all the projects that fall under.
So now, like, let's say you are hiring excavator.
Yes.
And then in a day, supposed to work. In a day, supposed to work 8 hours. Huh? But you pay it hourly. Then it was work maybe for 5 hours, 3 hours in a day. Moreover, you said that per day you pay 8 hours at a given standard rate. But you want to do the payment you track per hours. You understand? Yes. You can be paid full 8 hours, less or even more. Maybe you work for, instead of 8 hours, you might end up working for 8 hours and a half. So you need to be paid more. Yeah.
Yeah, that one can also be presented, but we're going to cover that one in the next session about the payments, the standard rates, the what, yeah. Because it needs, when we've started on the rates, the resources, what, and we digest it very well.
Okay.
Because for today, I wanted us to do, you create a project, create the work breakdown structure, input the activities inside the work breakdown structure, assign predecessors and successors. Then also we've assigned the resources, but we're still covering more about resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any questions about that?
Okay, no, nothing. I think it's fine. Only maybe predecessors, successors, the leads, the lags. I think we'll do them when we reach in front. We'll revise them.
Okay.
But generally, to start like on EPS, create OBS.
Yeah, create
open
EPS.
The project again, go to work breakdown structure, create activities. I think I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. All.
Okay. Were you able to install the software?
Yes, I have the software.
And it is working well. Hello?
Before you close. Maybe you have some minutes now. I can open when you look at it.
Oh, okay. You can share your screen.
Okay.
Let me allow.
You remove your share screen?
Yeah, you can share.
Okay.